truly. When I pulled up in the parking lot, I was really overwhelmed because I saw the images from the truck, and I was like, wow, that is amazing. You have no idea what kind of feeling that is to see something up that this has spanned the last 4 or 5 years of taking photos all over a good bit of Franklin County, Nash County, Hyde County, and Wake County. And so if you see, like, there's one little bee over here somewhere, that's a Lewisburg bee, you know, and a lot of places I think you'll recognize. I started doing it for fun about 5 years ago because I took photos when I was a reporter and an editor at newspapers around North Carolina, but this was the first time that I went out and just had a good time, you know, and it was kind of like therapy. I just would disappear in the woods. I would get calls a lot. Mike Collins called me one time and he said, "You're going to have to not go into the woods so much because you have that white hair and everybody's going to think you're a deer and you're going to get shot." So he recommended that I put on a vest, a safety vest, orange vest. And just one time, Simon with the sheriff's department, I went past the whatever security thing he has out there by the river, and all of a sudden I had deputies flying down a dirt path and Simon's running down the path, and then he started yelling, "Kathy, what are you doing down there?" I was just taking pictures. So, and then Boyd got me one time. He said, "I almost hit you in a ditch. You better stop that." So, but it's a lot of fun because when you see it, you want to take it. You know, and I really want to thank Robert Poole because he is the one who came up with the idea to do this and maybe approach Will. And then my two good friends, I hope they're coming, Kim Grizzard and Marion Blackburn, and then Jay Lamb, who, gosh, he has looked at every picture I've ever taken, sometimes at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and I say, "Here, you know, here's some more, look at these." And he's like, "Oh," you know, he doesn't want to look at it anymore. But I hope you enjoy them as much as I've enjoyed taking them, and I really appreciate the opportunity. This is my first show, and I'm real excited about it. And if you have any questions about them, please ask me. Every single one of them has a story. I can tell you and remember the day I took it, why I took it, and I'd love to share that with you too. So that's
Why do you
about
take,
it.
some of them are in black and white, some of them are in color.
Mhm.
Do you decide that after you take it, or how do you do that?
When I take it, I know that I want that to be black and white. There's one, I don't know, that's marbled with the sand. I don't know if that got up or not. But that one in particular, when I first saw that, I was like, that's a black and white photo.
So you, like the one behind you with the bird on the...
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do. I decide right then pretty much. That's a black and white photo. And if I do it in black and white, you won't see it in color, you know. So.
Are all of these, is your camera digital? Do you work in film at all? Is it?
No, it's just, I have one little camera, and I've wore it out. One day I won't have to get another one. The body is a Canon, and then I have one lens, a Tamron lens.
Okay.
So, and it just takes great pictures.
Sure.
And it's kind of like I told Will a while ago, it's like part of my hand. You know, I usually have it with me everywhere. So.
The overpass, the first one that's right here, right on the edge of the thing. Zach, point to it there. You see what I'm talking about? Go a little bit closer to it, Zach.
This one.
So that's the overpass, and then there are the hummingbirds.
The hummingbirds.
So you get way away from things, and then you get right up close.
Yeah.
So how do you do that back and forth, where you get real close up and real far away, or do you find yourself? How do you decide about that?
Sometimes I'll get up, feel like I want to go take pictures of animals or something. Then that might sound a little strange, and I'll do that. But then sometimes I'll just go out and do it, whatever's there. The hummingbirds were difficult. I stood there for probably 2 hours getting hummingbird photos.
Your exposure's got to be.
Wait, and you just have to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
And they're moving so fast. They had to get used to me being there. You know, they didn't like me there at all because I got right in there with them. So that took a while.
Tell us about the Ferris wheel right behind it, the state fair.
That was in Greenville.
In Greenville?
Yeah, that was at a country fair when I went to visit Marion and Kim one night. And it was late on the way home, and it was still open. So I started wandering around, and I got another frame that was, these guys were taking a break and smoking on the back of the food trucks. I couldn't find that frame, so that was the only one I could find from it.
So could you talk a little bit about how you don't have to show the whole Ferris wheel, but you just show a part of it to
Yeah.
tell the story?
Yeah, you just kind of,
How do you decide when you've shown enough?
probably most photographers will just say this, you just kind of feel it. You just see it and you frame it. The framing is real important, and you just feel it. You know when to snap it. So,
When you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Mhm.
that Ferris wheel picture, so you selected this Ferris wheel picture to show. How many from that shoot of the Ferris wheel did you take?
usually I take 6 or 7 of
6 or
something.
7 of it, and then you pick the best one.
hmm And honestly, it's usually the first shot.
Really?
hmm
Huh. Maybe the
It
gut
typically is.
instinct is just right.
It is, because then you start overthinking it, I think, it is. It's usually that first frame
Huh.
that nails it.
Elijah, point to the second one right there. Just point to the second. So when you take that, you're down at like a fishing pier or something?
That was at Jeanette's Pier.
Jeanette's fishing pier.
Mhm.
All right, when you see the print of that, did it surprise you what the sun looked like?
You bet, because I was after, what I really wanted was the shadows right here.
Right.
That's what I wanted, that I saw. And then, boom, look at what that's doing, and then what the light is right here. So even these shadows fell in the middle. So,
That's cool.
sure.
How
I
long did you
could-
have to wait for that cow to start eating up whatever she's eating on top
That
of her
was
head
like
there?
about an hour and a half at Chad Ray's farm.
I thought
She
that cow
started
was howling
eating.
at the moon.
She started eating pretty fast. But she was posing. I was telling Shelly, she posed. Lucy.
Why do you pull more to color, apparently, than black and white?
I don't know, because I like black and white better, But a lot of the color ones I think are closer. They tend to be, anyway. And it just happened.
Would you say that your work is nostalgic? Do you look back the way, I'm looking at this tobacco barn. Are you trying to talk about a life that used to be that doesn't exist anymore? Or do you find yourself when the sun sets that we all want to be at Nag's Head to see that sun setting like that? Do you
I think that everybody has seen these photos sometime before.
about that?
You know,
Everybody has seen them.
Everybody has seen this, but did you see it like this?
Cool.
Did you stop to see it like this?
Cool.
And when you stop to see it like this, it's something.
Cool.
It's just the most amazing things out there. And so,
So if you're a student here and you're writing something about that, then that becomes something you can think about something that maybe you've seen that you would like to stop and show it to somebody else. So you're not just talking about one of Kathy's pieces, it makes you, and that's what art does, is it makes you think about something that you've seen. Like I know Angela pointed to the one with the red dot, okay, that mimosa.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
that mimosa, it's got a couple of meanings for me. It's got like a champagne orange juice meaning, you feel me? And it's also got, I have friends that I grew up, and a mimosa tree is a romantic, beautiful Asian Oriental tree, but all of a sudden it's got a tendency to die. It'll die like, all of a sudden it's beautiful, and then it's dead. It feels real
changes.
vulnerable. And then it feels, you could almost touch the little parts of that blossom. And it really took me back to that place.
and that's what it can do. It's just, and the next day, that was not there. I feel certain. And that, you don't see, that one was on the side of a highway in Apex. I think it was 55.
Wow.
And that's the closest I've ever gotten to almost getting hit by something. I almost got hit by a truck that day. But the limbs, it was after a storm and they were down low, and you don't see that much. So I wanted to get it from that angle. And then Marion, I don't know if they've got here yet or not, but there she is. She told me that is not a mimosa tree, and so that is a silk tree.
Okay.
From Rocky Mountain. So that's why I named it AKA Silk Tree.
Right. Other questions for Kathy?
Well, thank you all so much.
Sorry to interrupt, but
No.
do other photographers that might be kind of trying to find their way through like different places in North Carolina, kind of start trying to find like these really beautiful places that you tend to find? Is there in particular any one spot that you tend to find you get yourself drawn to that you might suggest to
You
other
just get in the
photographers?
car and you'll see it around in these counties. Go down dirt roads, you know, where is that one? Right here, and somebody knows what this is, I still don't. Angela will know what this is, right here, what that house is. Or Lucy probably will, where they're renovating it, I think. That was a few years back. But I went down this dirt road right outside of Lewisburg, right after the cemetery, and there's this great place. And it even had some furniture in there, antique furniture, and got a lot of good shots. But then I went further back, and people were farming, so I got the haystacks. And then it was wide open field after that, so I ended up getting something like that too.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Kathy, do you manipulate the photos at all?
I do a little bit. I will contrast, and I will sharpen a color,
Okay.
but I don't add anything, don't take out anything. I just don't think you should.
Okay.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something to be said for if you're doing any hunting or fishing? It happens that happens at the edge of when day meets night.
Yeah.
It happens at the edge, right when night and day sort of meet. Do you find that you get up and you get some really interesting shots right when the sun is setting or right when the sun is coming up? Do things look different? The shadows
The
look different?
lighting, yeah, absolutely. The lighting for everything. Sometimes I'll have spots that I come back to. There's one of a tombstone, someone is called it.
Is it right there, the third one?
I waited until it was dreary, rainy, gloomy to get that picture.
So you knew about where the tombstone was, but you had to show it in that light. So you
Yeah,
didn't
I knew
find
what
it.
I wanted to show, how it looked then, not
That's cool.
sunny. So I waited and waited for it, and there it was one day. I got it.
You got it.
Yeah.
I know some old folks that don't like to have their picture taken. They think that that literally they don't want that picture taken because it takes some of their energy to that. But when you're taking these things and you're trying to give these places a compliment so that other people will go and see them.
Yeah, and like I said, to realize that this is out there every day for you to see.
There you go.
You know, every day, everywhere.
There you go.
This is not special. This is all out there.
Could you take the same quality picture with an iPhone or?
I wouldn't, but
You
I
wouldn't?
yeah.
Okay.
And no,
You really feel like you got to have that
I
quality.
do. I know
camera.
that sounds crazy, probably, but
No.
yeah, I just want that camera.
Wow. Kathy, it not only is it lovely for you to come up and see the photographs on the wall, but just listen to this when the people show you how they enjoyed what you see.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all so much. We got plenty of hot chocolate.